pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks everybody for coming. Roll call. Marty?
Here.
Ray? I'm here. G-Money Monville? Here. There's not.
Kitty is sitting in.
First things first, we are to approve special minutes meeting August 11th, 2025. Everybody okay with that? Okay, motion? Gary. Ray. Roll call Marty.
Yes.
Ray. Gary? Yes. Next up is the approval of bills and claims from the general fund from July 1 to July 31st, 2025 for a total of $42,623.83. See anything? Sorry? Boondocks. Boondocks.
That is the cellular station.
Oh, it's right now to Silver. Boondocks. Everybody's okay with that? Somebody wants to make a motion? Gary, supported by? Ray. Roll call Marty?
Yes.
Ray? Yes. Gary? Yes. So that should be approved. I don't have that line. Get that line on a lot of them.
No, none of those.
Okay.
There's no acceptance.
Okay. Next up is approval of bills and claims, Citizen State Bank General Fund, July 1 to 31st, 2025, for a total of $1,060.38. Gary's already on it. Marty? Roll call Marty?
Yes.
Ray? Yeah. Gary? Yes. Approval of bills and claims from the SDS-O&M, July 1 to 31st, 2025, totaling $846.41.
That was in a mowing, and then a couple of repairs. So, yeah, it was like 906.
We have insurance.
Yep,
So
and then
stuff
your
like,
reimbursement, and that was for the straps. It was,
This is when we were going through it. And got that cylinder fixed, and the rest is just bills and that one. Motion. Ray with a motion. Gary with support. Roll call vote from Marty. Ray. Gary. Yeah. Approval of building claims SDS grant fund from July 1st to the 31st. There's nothing. Just tell me they're on three. Okay, we all agree there's no transactions? Any motion for that? Gary, supported by. Gary. Marty, vote.
yes.
Ray. Gary. Yes. That's approved. Approval of bills and claims for the fire department. July 1 to 31st, 2025 for $3,348.45.
Marty.
So I take this Halloween is our insurance for everything.
Yes. I did already.
You can support. Good job for it. All right, roll call vote, Marty.
Yes.
Okay. Gary. No bills pending. Due from the SDS operations and maintenance, no bills and claims pending due to fire department. The good report.
Good evening, everyone. We had 2.5 million gallons come to the lagoon in the month of July. Last couple of years, it's just been over 1 million, so I'm thinking precipitation was a little higher this July than previous couple of years. We're in pretty good shape. Pond 1 is just about full. Probably the next couple of weeks it will be full. I will then have cell 2 as my receiving, and then cell 1 will stay in detention time for a good 10 days. I'll wait for a north wind to blow that duckweed to the south shore, and then I will take pond 1 and put it in pond 4. It won't be quite enough for a full discharge, but whatever accumulates in 2, we'll put it into 4. So we will have 1 full discharge in October, and then 1 more probably around Thanksgiving later in the season. That usually is typical, and unless we get a bunch more rain. Things are going good out there. We had a day out there where we fixed the blocks, the foot marker blocks, so everything's painted, the blocks are secured with cement. And then John Nordine did haul 1 load of 3 minus for the road, but since the tractor was down, we didn't haul anymore. We're going to cut the grass on the road and then have him haul the rest. He just only let him know when he's ready. And then there'll be 1 more, and 1 load of riprap for down by the outfall for that erosion there. Looking to get board approval for Tula Toilet and Septic to come out. He does our vacuum of Aspen Lift Station. We've been doing it every year for over 10 years. So he comes out with his vac truck. We pull both pumps, and then we send the fire hose down the manhole on the far side, and then we rinse out that whole main that comes into Aspen. This year, I'd like to get the jetter out there. So it's about time we break that out. We'll plan someday in September or even October, and run the jetter and clean that line out while Tula is vacuuming the lift station. Both pumps will be out, and then use the pressure washer to clean the inside of that wet well. I told him to allow a little extra time just because we're gonna try the jetter this time. So what he did is he put a not to exceed $1,500 that day. So looking to get board approval to not exceed $1,500 for Tulip Oil to come out and do that maintenance at the Aspen lift station.
And you're gonna do that in conjunction with jetting the line.
Yep, so we'll be jetting, and then he'll have his back truck in, both pumps will be pulled, we'll send the jetter in, so whatever we wash, he'll vacuum out, and then I usually go with them to the lagoon, and we just drop it at the lagoon. It's pretty much transferring whatever's there at the lagoon.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think we did some stuff too, that if it's under $2,000, you can just do it, okay?
I think that was for,
Is that for something else?
that was for maintenance.
Okay. I would think if it, yeah, it's an annual deal.
Because Aspen,
Right.
Aspen Jetter, or excuse me, Aspen's lift station's been going through a lot, right?
Aspen is the one that we have to pull, I don't know, 7-8 times a year to get the whites out of it. And with the pumps being pulled and we rinse that whole line, I mean, you can see the debris and the more whites that come in there. And instead of running that through the pumps, he's just vacuuming all that out. So I think that's really good, especially heading into winter. That's why I kind of like to do it around October. That way we're not pulling pumps in the winter. But there's no guarantee. All it takes is one white or two whites to get into that impeller and clog it up. But this has been very productive.
And you said this lift is designated for those 5 houses?
Yeah, you can break it down who's doing it.
Yeah, Alder Lane takes care of everybody on Alder Lane. Yeah. And then from there, it pumps over to the mall lift station. So, and then the mall lift station's got to pump it then to the main artery of Hemlock. So it's good to
So
get
I
out.
need to send a letter to the homeowner that is flushing the wipes.
You can. We've been good for about a month. I know since Dan's been on board, I think we pulled it 2 or 3 times. And it's normal to be pulling that every 7 to 10 times a year. Yeah, if
Do
you
that
send
with
letters.
everybody? All our lift stations do that, or because
No, it's just that one.
Just that one is what we have problems. That would be good not to send wipes to any of the grinders. I would say 60% of Carp Township is all gravity fed, so it wouldn't matter. But there are some lift stations. But Aspen's the only one that gives us the problem. It's a smaller pump because it only serves just a few houses.
So I want the motion to not exceed $1,500 for, who was the name of it again?
Tulip toilet and septic.
Motion by Ray. Support by Gary. Not to exceed $1,500 to the toilet for vacuuming services on Aspen. Okay, we'll call vote Marty.
Yes.
Ray? Gary? I'll vote yes. Okay.
And the only thing I have left is I got an email today from Daryl Gotham. He's with Michigan Tech. He's going to be sending out a technical assistant visit from a guy named John Sullivan. I'm thinking it's, I haven't talked to him, but I told him he wanted to come out Tuesday, August 26th at 9:30. So I left him a message, told him I would make that appointment. I'm thinking he's going to go over the groundwater and why we're getting so much I&I into the system and why come springtime we don't have the capacity like we did last spring. We had to call for earlier discharge. So he's going to probably come out and survey our lagoon and apply the lift stations and figure out where all this I&I is coming from. So I will be here for that. I encourage Dan to be here as well. And Mike, if you'd like to be here, Marty, anybody else on the board that would like to sit in on that is more than welcome.
I think he was-
8:26 at 9:30 in the morning. We'll meet here at the town hall.
When I talked to Daryl this morning, I think he was insinuating that he wanted to meet with the board, so he wants.
Yeah, hopefully we can figure something out. I don't think you'll ever get rid of all the I&I, but if we can get rid of 20 to 30% of it, I think that would be a good start. Looking forward to that.
There was training involved in that too, he said.
Okay. Do you know how long that meeting's gonna take?
He said about it, I'm gonna excuse myself from it, my notes are on my desk. It's about an hour, hour and a half.
Okay.
Not to change it too, but before you leave, I think everybody should know about our conversation earlier today about that email. With what you think about that, and I agree.
Well, what email was that?
Well, we can do it, I guess. So we got an email from a builder, which you would call what, the north side of 64. And we are gravity fed that way, and they asked permission because the perk test obviously didn't go well for their septic system with the state. And then they asked if they could pierce our main line that's gravity going that way to the lagoon. But then why don't you tell everybody, since it's your neck of the woods, what your thoughts were on that?
Yeah, so that would be after it leaves town, crosses M64, that would be all those lots on the east side of the highway. I talked to Tyler Antela, he works for Norman Pesca. They wanted to have a gravity-fed system hooked into the main going to the lagoon. I told him I didn't like that idea. I didn't want any holes going into the main. So I pretty much left it at that, and he was fine with not doing it. I didn't know the perk test didn't go well. But I don't want any holes in the main. That's a nice brand new from 2005 or 2004 when that was put in, and I don't want anything going in there.
Right, but for expansion purposes, explain that though, because all of our grinders and our pumps and everything are on this side of the road.
Correct. But
So everything is beat up and pretty thoroughly liquefied by the time it crosses the highway and then is entered into the lagoon. So he would be dropping after the highway
raw sewage
into the line that isn't ground or isn't mixed. So we would have basically chunks that then would go into the lagoon, and that's why Ron said no. So we don't have a grinding service that side of the highway.
Right,
So,
and I didn't want a hole poked in there, you know, and
Right.
just, it's in great shape, and just didn't want, you know, just for one service, I don't think that would bring a lot of revenue.
No.
If everybody was building a lot of houses, maybe we could think about having something, but in this particular incident, I just said I didn't like the idea and kind of left it at that.
Well, right now it's kind of partially in good shape with going through our processes from the road over to where it don't, where like that's a situation there, then you can get a floater. You're saying it's not treated, it's not beat up, it's not addressed to go to the lagoon by pumps and grinders. So
Who's this for, the Pesca guy?
yeah, so there's, I mean, everybody can see it. They're selling the lots and they're doing some things on that side of the road. But I mean, our sewer system and the lagoon system, I guess correct me if I'm wrong, is built to accommodate city limit folks. So as we, you know, granted, yes, we pump that way, but we're not situated just because our line's there to receive once we're past even the trailer park.
We don't have the proper lift stations in that
There's
direction.
no lift stations over there.
Yeah.
So it's to a point, it's where it's beat up, pressed,
Yeah.
run, and that's just to get it to the lagoon. So we need to stay out of that. I'd say we keep going through it
Yeah.
to city limits. He's not city limits.
Yeah, I mean, if he really needed, he can come here and we can have a discussion, but I think the only way I would probably allow it is if he had some sort of grinder at his homestead, he was able to grind it, and then I would want that hole going right into the manhole, or he can grout it and make it look nice, that way you don't get any I coming through his tap into the main. But, I mean, there would be considerations, but I'd like him to come here to talk about it if that's what he wanted to do. I didn't know his perk test failed.
And where's the email?
Okay, so I don't know where that one is,
I have it in my
but
truck.
that,
It said it didn't go well, it didn't pass.
I figure you can have some kind of mound system, you know, build up a
Well,
mound.
then they would have to go to an engineered mound system,
Yeah.
which you and I both know is $20,000.
Right.
But I will say this, when I did some investing to properties and changing where obviously we came from, I mean, just for us to pierce a pressure main or the same exact system what we would have on a pressure site here was like $13,000, and then it had to be done by a commercial licensed contractor. But the reason why they paid that fee, or like we had to pay a fee, was dues. Because like when we put in this system for everybody here, all of us as taxpayers have been paying on it since day one. So now all of a sudden if somebody wants to build a home and they want to jump on board, well, Judy's been paying for this sewer system probably since day one. A lot of you have. And then all of a sudden somebody wants to come here and put a home in and they jump right on board. They get it for next to nothing, or at least they're on the bottom half of the payment plan. So that's why if this is something in the future that you guys want to accept, or you would accept for homes to grow here and jump on board with the sewer program, there needs to be some sort of back fee, not just grandfathering them in forward.
Like a ready to serve fee, because I know Ontonagon's water department, anytime there's a new tapping, they get a ready to serve fee. It's like an additional $1,500 to $2,000 right away.
Well, as taxpayers, we have $1 million in that lagoon that we're paying on monthly. And every month it gets smaller, but then if somebody wants to, like I said, jump on our coattails, every month that fee should go up, or something to that effect where if a new house wants to be built, say over on Fairview, and they want to get into our sewer system and tap that, at this point there should be a number. All right, it's been here for 9 years. The fee to tap into that is $7,000. And then every year it exponentially goes up a little bit because ultimately we're paying it down. But she's paid on it for $15,000. Somebody else may have paid on it for $15,000. There's no reason why someone gets to pay the last 2 months of it and get the same benefit. See my point?
I do, and it's a great idea.
But that's how it is where I came from. It's prorated backwards for the investment that it makes it even for everybody. Not just the person that was here for 2 months, but the person that may have been here for 20 years. So I don't know if this place ever does start to grow. That's something you need to look at, that when someone wants to pierce into the main or hook up a new home, we've already paid $1 million worth of sewer. All of us as taxpayers have paid that, plus interest, and someone gets to come do it for free.
You should almost get that written down to any new
That's
homes.
something that should be built.
Yeah. And then have a contractor actually come out and tap in with a core drill, because you know as well as I do, if the jackhammer blows out the other side of concrete.
Well, but there should be stubs on all this other hole.
I know that line going to the lagoon, there's no stubs, and if he's gonna tap into the a manhole, I want a core drill, nice clean hole, rather than, breaking on the other side. We've all hit concrete before, the other side was horrible.
And I don't know if we want to accommodate there again to reiterate, though. I'm pretty sure, I don't know where city limits are, but I know they split right at the, I thought city limits split right at the trailer park.
I believe you're right. City limits is in town. So
Do we want to accommodate future plans outside of the city? I say no, because you're the one that maintains it. There's no grinders, there's no nothing. I mean, that'd be a lot of expense, but everybody needs to look at that eventually as there's more and more houses going up over there.
Yeah,
So we want to try to go after that revenue.
Yeah, if there's 10 more houses getting built on that side, maybe that's something to look into. That's a lot of revenue for the lagoon side of things.
Right.
Isn't that the side where the mine is?
Yep.
You can't have sewer.
That's why they're running into issues.
You have to run a compost.
Compost or build a mound system that meets state spec.
And that's why they want to tap into the main,
That's
because
why they want to tap
the
into the main.
lagoon goes on that side of the highway.
That's big money, $50K. Just saying.
Well,
It's gonna
they
cost
asked
you to run
for a
pipes
reason,
there.
and letting everybody know that this stuff is happening for a
Well,
reason.
they have to tap in.
Do we want
Yeah.
to prepare for it with some sort of legislation resolutions, anticipating more of this, or do we just say no at this point? I mean, we all own it together, so
We gotta look, talk about
at some point maybe we bring that up, unless somebody wants to say something now.
How many houses are between, like, out of the city limits on the, you say the east side?
Yeah,
How many houses are on that?
There's quite a bit. I think there's 4 or
They've
5.
cut quite a few in there. There's more than that now. I mean, like 4 or 5 new roads went in alone this year.
Yeah. I see them there.
Kingfisher has 4.
But all those houses that are there right now, they have their own septic system, right?
Or composting because they're being denied.
Yeah,
I
I see.
just say no.
Hmm?
The other side of the highway, what are you gonna have to do entrances there, no one here.
They're gonna. Do we want to give them an option?
Well, that's the same side that Ron is on,
Yeah.
and there's a pipe that goes there, right? Because the water comes.
You have a main basically from the trailer park to the lagoon. You have one main line. It's not
Gravity
like there's-
fed.
Yeah, it's all gravity, and it's not like it trunks off or nothing. So, I mean, there's no room for improvement anywhere at this point that would have, we'd have to construct for a plan. But there again, we have to keep it serviceable, and do we want it in the city limits?
That's something to bring up to Patrick Holman with north of 45. with our master plan. Because he's helping with a lot of that construction for us, with the opportunity of growth. With this master plan, that there's a lot of hurdles, and one of his comments that he made during one of the meetings was, are you prepared for the growth? With this-
Our lagoon is already, well, we already had an early discharge before with the amount of I&I we have, so that would be a no.
Our lagoon is maxed certain times of the spring. I mean, there's nothing. I have all the ponds below what they're supposed to be, below 2 foot, going into December. And last year, we just those last few snows that were 18 inches just maxed it.
So at this point, anything on M64 would be like,
New.
new-
It'd have to be a new build and prepare probably putting a fifth pond in.
1 or 2 houses and is really not a lot of water that comes out. It's these bigger buildings, with all those roof drains, with the high school, and some of the buildings over at the mine site, the mall. Just think of the square footage on top of that roof. When it rains, all that water goes in. Those are the ones I target, not just houses. 1 or 2 houses, 5 houses probably wouldn't make a big difference at all.
Do we know for a fact, like the drains off the roof of the school going in?
Yeah. The school, I'm really sure. The mall for sure, because we had smoke testing done in town, and there was smoke coming out of the vents of the mall. So I know the mall vents are all tied into the sewer system. And that's a lot of square footage on top of that roof.
When you back that up though, that's been here for a long time.
Yeah, and how do you
and
make
it's
them
a
change
flat
it?
roof, isn't it?
I know the ad building, all that. I mean, all that square footage up there goes in there.
And that's what this gentleman's going to talk to us about?
Well, I'm pretty sure he's going to talk about why we had too much water, where all this water is coming from. Maybe he wants to see my treatment process, how I move things around, where I leave things off in the fall. So, yeah, this will be a good visit.
Maybe it'd be nice to tell him, granted this is a unique situation again, not to reiterate, but everything here was built by the mine, for mine people. So, I mean, how do we back it up?
And the mine had a sewage treatment plant. So it didn't matter how much water was coming in. They were able to treat it on a daily basis and send it off into the middle river. They had a plant with a digester. Now we have a lagoon.
Okay, so
Gotcha.
this is for EPA training, sewer services, funding issues and help, investigation into system, and looking at water systems. So on paragraph number 2, it says we at the Great Lakes Environmental and Fracture Center of Michigan Technical University are technical assistance and training providers for small water and wastewater system operators. We received funding from the EPA in the form of grants, so our services are free to you. So you are one of 7 different communities located in the central to western upper peninsula that were identified by Eagle for the technical assistance. Eagle identified a few different things that we might be able to assist you with. So John Sullivan would like to meet with us, setting up a meeting to discuss the needs and what you may want help with. We can do this through virtual or in-person meeting. That's what this is about.
Okay. And maybe we have more information after that meeting. It would be better for the I&I and maybe trying to implement some things of 50-year-old infrastructure accepting massive amounts of water. I mean, even when he had that comment, he said we were like 900% over per individual with what we're taking into water. But,
Well, when our daily flow is around 20 to 25,000 a day,
right.
and then certain times a year it bumps up to 1,300,000 in a day in a 24-hour period. I mean, you rise a half a foot a day in one of the cells alone.
Yeah, all right.
So I think that'll be a good meeting.
Yeah, all right. Sounds good.
All right, that's all I have.
I'm going to, one more thing with you. I have a meeting Friday morning. I'm going to just kick the idea around of trading in the goofy tractor. What's that thing called?
We'll haul it over 45.
Your leaning one. What's that one?
Oh, Harper.
So the Harper is kind of sort of on its last leg. This tractor that we